All right, so this is Horribly Hooched. We're sitting down with Vanessa Aranegui of Unbridled Chaos, the short that Chris Green directed and we just reviewed earlier this week. Thank you for joining us, Vanessa.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's certainly...
That's what I'm supposed to say, right?
That's how these things go normally.
Okay.
We're not exactly standard or formulaic anyway, so I don't really give a shit what you say.
Great. Even better.
So how did you get connected to this short?
Chris Green directed it. I know Chris Green from Truthful Acting Studios, where we both studied. And we actually, I think 2 years before that, crossed paths on a commercial little gig that we did. And yeah, we worked together a little bit via Truthful Acting. We've seen each other work a little, and he approached me with the script and asked me to read it, and we talked about it, and we worked out a couple details, and then we figured that it was a good match.
Yeah, he said that going into it, you were the one he needed, and that even when you were doing your audition, you brought a little bit of something extra to the role.
I guess. I did just do what I do, and it worked out to be what they needed. And the writers were also, when they saw me and worked with me a little bit, they were pleased with the choice, so it worked out in my favor.
Excellent.
It's good.
I mean, the biggest thing I think for this one was, and what we're most curious about is, how did you prepare for the role?
Well, it's funny. One of the first things I discussed with Chris when I saw the script was, I don't want to play this crazy. Like, I'm not going to approach this as a crazy person. The way I approached it was simply somebody who was madly in love and was rejected and having to deal with all the different things that come with that. So, I mean, that's how I approached it. Because from her point of view, she was truly in love. So.
Which is good, which you can totally see in your performance and what it is that you did with it. So that's actually really well done.
I think that approach really saved the piece because it certainly prevented us from being able to figure out exactly where it was going. Having seen some moderately similar pieces in other works, usually you get the warning sign. You're like, okay, she's just insane and she's going to shank a dude or something like that.
Right.
But it definitely seemed, it was genuine emotion. It was definitely coming from a real place, which is why I wanted to talk to you, because it was so genuine and as a result, completely fucking unsettling. Because like you get to the end,
what the? It's like horrors. It's like who did that? Who's the first person that set this shit off? Who did it? Let me find this man.
So what did you do for a character to establish like where she was coming from? Did you come up with a history or?
No, I trained in the Meisner Technique, and one of the things that you do with that is you find an element of what we call an element of truth, which is something that I can truly connect to, and then wrap it in imagination. And with that, you're able to create this connection. There's a lot of work that goes in between it, but you're able to connect a connection then personally and weave it with the character. And so I really connected. I found my way into basically the rejection and the rejection and what's that called when people like the betrayal of it. Mm. So that's really
nice. Nice.
Yeah, it definitely harkened back to, and it's something we touched upon with Chris is, everyone's been through, obviously not to that degree, but something of that nature. We've had that one breakup that just went a bit too south, and it's the element of, what if it went really south?
Exactly. What if I went off the deep end?
Or what if she went off the deep end?
It's like a question.
Yeah, well, because I think everyone... I'd like to think I wouldn't actually kill somebody because they broke up with me or whatever. But, we all have that side in us, I think. I really, truly believe that when push comes to shove, anybody is capable of the extreme.
You should show this to all future boyfriends before you guys kick off. I feel like, I don't think I would kill someone, but I might shank a bitch.
Don't go in there.
And you don't die. Like, what's so hard about that?
Yeah, you cheat on me, cut your balls off. I'm joking, of course. That's the one.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Does she know where we live?
I don't know. Can this be back sourced somehow?
Backtraced through the interwebs with the cyber police.
I know what your IP address is.
So Chris mentioned that they were thinking about trying to get this into a feature.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked about that? Do you have any thoughts on it?
I think that would be super cool to do. Be able to really dive in a little bit more and expand on the story and on the character. I mean, definitely. Well, man, who doesn't want to be in a feature? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, whoa, geez, feature-length film.
Oh.
No,
thank you.
Twist my arm about it. You know, I'm just an actress. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty exciting prospect. We'd love to be able to see more of where this character came from, where she's going, you know, what the next steps are.
Absolutely. And the whole, you know, the suggestion of it being like a serial kind of roller coaster situation is exciting.
Yeah, you know, because it's got that potential to sort of like ramp up, you know, come to a bigger conclusion. You know, how does she deal with previous crimes? You know, what's her method of, I don't know, cleanup? You know, that kind of smaller stuff that I think would be a lot of fun to kind of watch you go through.
Yeah, definitely. Or the first kill.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like Brandon was saying, you know, what kicked it off? What was the straw that broke the camel's back in this situation? And
what was the nail in the coffin?
Literally.
Yeah.
Or the meat tenderizer in the coffin.
Meat tenderizer on the face is what.
So I noticed you've got one project in post right now.
Yeah. Oh, the Onset?
Yes.
Talk about that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was another really fun. And I really enjoy kind of going back and forth with different characters. The Onset character is much more quirky, and it's a comedy. So, you know, it's more of a it's not. It started off as a mockumentary feel, but they kind of turned it more into a, you know, just kind of a fly on the wall situation. But yeah, it's a really fun, cute thing. They might do a season. They're looking at hopefully raising money for a second season of it. We're getting really good feedback on it, so it's exciting.
So do you have any difficulties transitioning between these sort of like drastically different characters? I mean, just even looking at your reel, like you go kind of all across the board here.
You know, no, not really. It's simply a matter of finding that one connection to the character. And once you find that one little meaty part of the character, you can really go anywhere.
Okay.
I don't really find it too difficult to bounce back and forth, because once you find the truth of it, the rest kind of takes care of itself.
All comes back to Meisner.
Acting is doing truthfully in the imaginary world. Meisner, man.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I hear a lot about like people who get too into their characters and end up bringing some pieces of them home, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did any of that happen with?
I've been pretty able to disconnect from the things I do. I think that regardless, though, you spend so much time with this, ultimately a human being that you've created and worked with or on. Ultimately, it affects you to some degree, whether it's positively or negatively or inspires you. But I don't really find it difficult to completely disconnect. You know, I didn't feel dark and torn every night when I went home or anything like that. It's pretty easy for me to cut that, cut it off.
It didn't come into personal life.
It's good.
No.
You didn't decide you wanted to like slit throats all of a sudden. That's good. Yeah. We appreciate that.
Good to know. All right. So besides what you have in post, is there anything else we should be excited for?
Ooh, goodness. Pressure. I'm currently trying to write, well, no, stop saying trying. I'm writing a short for myself, and potentially, you know, it's going to be a husband and wife situation, but it's going to be I guess the closest thing would be like a dramedy.
Oh.
Funny. I mean, it'd be funny, quirky, but on a serious note, an emotional, deep piece. But no, other than that, I just moved into my apartment, so I've been really focused on that, and I'm looking forward to really getting some things together, you know, this coming month. But of course, I don't know if this is the time to do it, but, you know, hashtag Unbridled Chaos, of course, and, you know, go to the Facebook page, which is Unbridled Chaos as well. Check it out.
We'll be sure to include all pertinent information for the short. We'll look your IMDb.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks again for joining us, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. We hope to hear more from you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Cheers.
Good.